to the left,
yeah,
then you're really started, if it's left, you really started there. So if you could rotate 45 degrees one way and 45 degrees the other, your start point is a little left. So you'll go about 40 degrees one way and 50 degrees the other, because you're not here anymore. So your starting point is off just a hair. But it may bring that shoulder forward, and then the shoulder forward, so to make it very obvious, if that was neutral and I bring my shoulder forward, I just put a lot of pressure on the front of my shoulder, right? Or I hyperextended my shoulder, but it really had nothing to do with my shoulder. It had to do with my started there. I'm trying to unload torque from my head and neck, and it's a spiral, and it's going to bring these two guys forward or back.
So if it's moving out of place and it's causing like the problems in my shoulder,
yeah,
then how do I
So we'll give you some neck exercises.
Okay.
Yeah. So you can continue to do your shoulder exercises, but probably because they made it feel better, it's because the bigger muscles are trying not to do it, and they're dumping down to things that are closer to your axis, the rotator cuff. So when you work the rotator cuff with not much weight, you're just going through these motions, you're going to improve the ability to them, and it's going to calm the shoulder down, but it's not going to really hold or work out in the long run, because the bigger issue is still probably head on neck.
It's just like a Band-Aid, like a temporary.
Yeah, and so it feels good to work and get, because if I made the muscles that are trying to compensate stronger, well, I'm going to be better at compensating, and it's going to feel better.
Yeah.
But it really is not going to be resolved as soon as I start to swim hard on it.
Yeah.
It's going to show itself again.
Yeah.
Because I made it more able to tolerate it, but I hadn't figured it out really.
Yeah.
You get me? And so that's how you describe it, and that's how I've learned to understand what you're saying.
Yeah.
You just pick away at people through my own failure of doing the same thing, right? Of do these exercises, and then at the end of the day, why isn't it getting better still? Because it felt great, but I go try to use it, and I can drive it at 50, but I can't really drive it at 80.
Yeah.
Right? It's crapping out on me. So you're still trying to search for there's more to it is the ultimate conversation. And so I'm going to work on neck stability and give you some neck movements to do.
Okay.
You by all means can continue to do your PT stuff because that's more shoulder specific.
Okay.
How the body is if it's successful at a movement without pain or without it getting skewed information, then it'll calm down and feel better. And so until the point where it's overloaded or it's excessive or it knows it can't do it, and that's when you start getting symptoms. And that could start as just tension at first, and then tension and inhibition, right? And then you may get some kind of pain because tension's usually going to put pressure on something. So that may be artery, nerve, or vein. Usually if it's hot, it's pressure on a vein. If it's cold, it's pressure on an artery. If it's nervy, it's pressure on a nerve. If it goes weak, it's pressure on a nerve. If it's like some of these physicians, you don't really want to respond to me. That's what it's telling us. I don't really want to do that. And so for me, I'm trying to figure out, well, what's the movement? So yours is more internal rotation with flexion. It's kind of how you talk about it. I'm guessing that you feel it crawling.
Yeah.
And so there's a nerve relationship to those muscles. There's not a lot of, for you had a pec, that's a lot of nerves. You had a trap, that's 3/4 of your spine, right? You had your lat, that's the other 3/4 of your spine. So those are huge muscles, and they don't give you overlapping, like if we were drawing circles, we should have overlapping quadrants, and whoever's getting covered by all three, that's probably where our issue is, right? So, but yours go mainly back to, all right, how stable is the spine, and can I use this arm that says on my glenoid joint, but really this thing has a lot of anchoring up into the upper, middle, low neck. You just see more upper. Yeah. And when I give you neck movements, you have a hard time with some pivots, a head on neck, and then that last one where I turned you all the way and had you lift, that's the deepest layers of your neck. It's a muscle called longus colli. I'm gonna get working for you today. You're not gonna like it, but I'm gonna do it.
Okay.
And so, but you're gonna do longus colli exercise for me, which you'll turn all the way to the right and just flex your head. We'll go over that at the end. But what we'll see is if improving the stability of my neck is affecting my shoulder, right, then it's your neck. for sure. And then this thing will calm down as this gets more stable.
Okay.
Right? And so that's what I'm thinking on you right now. I'm going to take a quick look at your hips and abs.
Okay.
And then
take
we'll
my
work on
earrings
your
out
neck.
real quick.
Right? And I don't know that I'm going to work on your shoulder. So
Okay.
after I look at your abs, and if we don't see anything there, great, I'll work on your neck.
Okay.
If we work on your neck and we get it more stable, and then all these things you couldn't do in your shoulder now work, it's definitely neck stability.
Yeah.
Right?
Okay.
All right. And if they don't, then well, we might have two issues. I don't think it's going to be like that, but